Hello and welcome to Forgotten Clubs, where today we'll be going through a bit of football history in Flint. So the first club in Flint was simply called just Flint, and they formed around 1878. The first reference to them was around February 1879, which hints towards them being formed towards the start of that season, which was put the foundation somewhere in 1878. So they played their games on Hollywell Road, and they played in the North Wales Coast League. They played in the Welsh Cup. They also played in the FA Cup as well. Um, in 1891, Flint played in the first ever Welsh Junior Cup, which is now called the FAW Trophy. They played in the first ever final, but they lost against Wrexham Victoria. In 1890, they played against Everton in a friendly match. Um, Also, the club were hit by tragedy. In 1891, their player Arthur Bartley died in a football-related accident, becoming the first fatality in Welsh football. Um, Also in 1891, they had a player by the name of John Rush. Um, when you're researching football, the amount of names that you see that you can still possibly associate now um, with the modern day. And obviously Flint having a player by the surname Rush, and obviously Ian Rush being from Flint, you do wonder if there is a family connection there. So this incarnation of Flint uh, finally finally ceased to exist in 1905 when they merged with another club in the area called Flint UAC. Flint UAC were started in 1898 by Robert Jones. There's some ambiguity over what UAC stands for. There's some sources give it as the United Alkali Company, and others give it as the United Athletic Company. There is other references to a club called Alkali United, and there is some references referring to them as the Chemicals, and also in FAW minutes they are down as Alkali. So the name was probably United Alkali Works. They played in the Flintshire League. They also played in the North Wales Coast Junior Cup. But yeah, they ceased to exist in 1905 when they merged with Flint. So the two clubs merged in 1905, as I said, to create a club called Flint Town. Now, this new Flint Town played in the Flintshire League to start off with. They also played in the Chester League. Then they also had a season in the Combination. And the Combination was a league which covered most of North Wales and some of Northwest England, although by this point it was mainly a North Wales Coast League, really. This club seems to have been cursed. Um, in the mid 1900s, long after they formed, one of their players called Teddy O'Neill died at the age of 21. Another one of the former players by the name of Will Price was involved in an accident in the Widnes Canal where he was working for the United Alkali Company, and the boat he was on sank and he drowned. Another one of their games was postponed because one of their supporters died, and shockingly he was beheaded on the train track at Flint Station. And then their former manager called Eb Jones was found dead in the street in 1911. So this club didn't enter any leagues in 1913. It seemed to be inactive, and the club were in trouble for fraud. They'd fake balance sheets to defraud creditors. So they seemed to cease to exist in 1913. But obviously, the World War One happened in 1914, and a lot of clubs have gone into difficulty before the war. Some of them obviously restarted again after it. And obviously, Flint Town did merge with Flint United after World War Two to create the modern day Flint Town United. Now, there were other clubs in the area as well. There was a Flint Athletic and a Flint Red Stars, both of which played in the Welsh Amateur Cup in the early 1900s, but with little success. So, yeah, I'm here now at the modern day ground of Flint Town United, who play in the Cymru Premier, so the top league of Welsh football. Yeah, so if you're interested, there is a book called Forgotten Clubs in North Wales, which covers some of these clubs, which is available on Amazon. So yeah, thank you for watching.